There's only one car that will actually qualify for the full $12,500 tax credit. And bizarrely, it's not even on sale right now. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Electric Viking. Fantastic to see so many new subscribers to the channel. Welcome to all of you. Welcome back to everyone else. If you're new, or even if you're not new, make sure you check out some of the 650 plus videos we have created over the past 6 months. Obviously, there's a lot of information there that you might have missed in terms of understanding everything that's going on in the electric car world, new cars that are coming, some of the crazy cars in China, some of the prices are unbelievable. Anyway, insane that the Chevy Bolt has had its production halt extended now to January the 28th. Now, the company is addressing the recall before resuming production of new vehicles. Now, this info was shared by General Motors President Mark Roos, who said via Automotive News that the company is continuing to address the battery recall before resuming serious production of new cars. Now, if you're not aware what's going on, the Chevy Bolt, the actual hatchback thingy, and the EUV crossover thingy, majiggy, they were both recalled because of battery fires. Apparently, there's actually 2 problems with the battery that are causing it to potentially explode, set itself on fire, whatever. I made a video just the other day of this happening out the front of a General Motors dealership. Not a great look for EVs. Honestly, I don't wish the worst for General Motors. I want them to succeed, but I do feel somewhat as though this experience has put a negative spin in terms of the perception of electric cars for much of the public, and I hope that we can kind of get past that as quickly as possible. Now, production of the Bolt was actually stopped in August and was resumed only temporarily for the first 2 weeks of November to help optimize battery production and supply chain repair logistics, or basically provide some replacement cars to the owners affected by the battery recall, as I understand. Now, unfortunately, the 6-month pause, August to February, will not be enough, with roughly 142,000 cars affected by the battery recall. There is a battery deficit of up to 9 gigawatt hours, and General Motors might be forced to repeat the same statement for all of 2022 because there's simply not enough battery modules for the affected cars, which are prioritized over the production of new cars. So what does this mean for the only car that qualifies for the $12,500 US tax incentive? I mean, I don't know what the point of having that incentive is if no cars actually qualify for it. Now, as part of President Biden's Build Back Better BBB legislation, which still has to pass the Senate, by the way, US electric vehicle buyers may get a refundable tax credit of up to $12,500 US when they purchase a new electric car. However, $4,500 US is earmarked for electric vehicles built in the US by unionized automakers. That said, the weird thing is that not a single currently available electric vehicle in the United States actually qualifies for the full credit. Now, Stephen Loveday reports for Inside EVs that sure, the Chevrolet Bolt EV and Bolt EUV would theoretically qualify, but these are the only current EVs built in the US by union workers, and there's one massive caveat. Due to battery fires, the Bolt EV and the Bolt EUV are not currently for sale, as GM isn't even producing them. Now, the irony is, right, that because of this 9 gigawatt hour battery deficit and the fact that General Motors is going to be spending all of next year basically getting the battery cells for the existing vehicles they've already sold, it's a good chance that the Bolt EUV may not even go on sale at all for the entire next year. Well, what will happen is the vehicles that they actually build next year will just go to current owners. They'll be replacing those vehicles. So when will it be that the $12,500 tax credit will actually be achievable for anyone? Well, I'm wondering, is it possible for the Mustang Mach-E? Well, the crazy thing is that whilst Ford does rely on union workers, it produces the Mach-E in Mexico, so it doesn't qualify either. Now, Tesla's vehicles are all built in the US, but the American automaker isn't unionized. Now, I do think that this is a bit bizarre because there is a list of the top 10 most American-made vehicles. I made a video about it, by the way. The crazy thing is, right, 4 of the top 10 are Tesla vehicles. I think Tesla was in 1st place, 3rd place, 5th place, and 10th place. So, 5 most American-made vehicles in America won't get this incentive. The extra money will go to, well, no one, because no one's currently making any EVs in America, in union factories. GM is planning an onslaught of EVs though, so it seems the Biden administration is banking on the future, putting all of its eggs in the one basket and counting on Mary Barra to come through. I mean, obviously he thinks that General Motors started the electric revolution and that General Motors are the number 1 biggest electric car company in the world, even though they don't currently produce any electric cars in America. Maybe he's just saying that to light a fire up General Motors though. So if that's the case, smart move, Joe Biden. Now, the all-new GMC Hummer EV is coming to market very soon. So maybe people are hoping to get the full tax credit on that huge beast of a pickup truck. However, one problem. It's too expensive, so it doesn't qualify. Though, on the flip side, General Motors' upcoming Cadillac Lyriq SUV should qualify based on what we're hearing in terms of what it's going to cost. Or maybe the base model will qualify anyway. So what does this mean? Well, until the Ford F-150 Lightning electric pickup truck actually comes to the market, buyers won't really have any option to take advantage of the full tax credit. The Lightning will benefit from the credit in a very big way though, with the base model costing only $28,000 US after the credit. That is insane. Now, seriously, Ford, come on, let's build 10 factories because the demand for this vehicle at that price is going to be astronomical. Eventually, the Bolt EV and the EUV will resume production and sales. Of course, I imagine probably by the end of 2022. However, even with a full $12,500 US tax credit, it would be somewhat of a surprise to see buyers just decide to forgive everything that's happened with this car and say, yeah, let's go buy one of those Chevy Bolt EUVs or EVs because they're so great. And that honestly, I mean, they're not a bad car. If it hadn't have been for the battery issues, which have been pretty significant, and the fact that, I mean, all these fires just keep on happening. And in addition to that, General Motors hasn't really handled it all that well, telling owners of the car, park 50 feet away from everyone else. Don't park in your garage. There's some of the stuff that they're telling people to do, it's not really realistic. It's sort of, I mean, if someone told you can never park within 50 feet of anyone or anything else, where would you park? It just doesn't add up. Now, you never know. Maybe General Motors will regain trust and promote the hell out of the new Bolt, but I'd be surprised if that's how it turns out. I think they probably need to scrap this model and start again with another model, have a plain start again with a fresh slate. Now, some people are claiming that subsidizing anything that is sold out, which is pretty much all electric vehicles on the planet right now, is throwing your money away and will simply raise the price of electric vehicles, which would enrich electric car manufacturers. What I want to know is, do you agree with that? Are these subsidies? Do they make sense? Should the American government have these subsidies? Personally, I think they have no choice because we have subsidies similar to these in Europe, in Germany, in China, even in Australia now we even have electric car subsidies. In New Zealand, they have $8,500 subsidies. So I don't think there's any choice because remember, we need to keep manufacturing in America. And these sort of subsidies are giving massive incentives to companies like General Motors and Ford and even other companies like Polestar and Geely to build new factories for manufacturing in America, which is a good thing in my view. But let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you again on the next one. Bye-bye.